the starting of the year that he's 1-2 yet.
One three-pointer. One.
I heard you say the other night, unfortunately I wasn't here, so I was listening to you on the radio, and you said that he hadn't made one involved, so he comes down and hits one. So, you know, I
think he's like 1 for 10 or 1 for 11 or something like that.
I didn't hear all of that game, but, you know, he hasn't had the start to the year that he wanted to, but no better time to get the cobwebs knocked off and get things going here.
Against one of your biggest rivals?
Against one of your biggest rivals. But then, you know, also this is kind of having the preseason tournament that leads into your Christmas break and everything. So kind of get the cobweb knocked off in this game, kind of let you get that momentum carried through.
As we are getting set here once again, the boys championship game getting set to take place, as it has been a fun day here, Robbie. We've seen some great basketball. It all started with the
press, trapping all over the place. I mean, they were even trapping in the middle of the court, wasn't allowing passes out, so it was a good game there by Central Plains girls.
As it looks like we are getting set for the national anthem, so we'll go ahead, take a timeout here, and come back with tonight's starting lineups as you're listening to Panther Basketball on KQMA and the World Wide Web.
High School and the Panthers of Phillipsburg High School. This game is being conducted according to the rules and regulations of the Kansas State High School Activities Association. Cheerleaders, officials, and spectators can and are expected to assist in the promotion and achievement of good sportsmanship ideals by taking personal responsibility for keeping this contest at a high level of fair, clean, wholesome competition. Thank you for your cooperation and good luck to both teams. And now rise for our national anthem.
To Russell High School, Jesse Ray alongside Robbie Gibson as we get set for the boys championship here at the Amos Morris Classic.
A senior, 6'1", number 5.
Looking at the starting lineups, first for the Plainville Cardinals, as they are the road team on the scoreboard. Looks like number 5, a 6'1" senior, number 10, a 5'7" junior, Clay Felton. Number 11, a 5'1" sophomore, number 10, number 14, a 6' senior, Caden Vancouver. And then number 24, a 6'3" junior, Eli Hayes. For the Panthers, is number 5, number 2, a 5'9" junior, Caden Keaton. Number 10, a 6'5" senior, Austin Miller. Number 12, a 5'9" junior, Ty Sides. Number 21, a 6-foot sophomore, Joel Ford. Number 32, a 6'1" senior, Parker Dibble. The Panthers, head coached by Keith Sides. The Cardinals, head coached by Chris Dries. The Cardinals in those new road gray jerseys with the cardinal red numbers and then the black trim around the numbers. For the Panthers in their home white jerseys, navy numbers and the gold trim. Robbie, let's get your keys to a quick start for both teams.
Well, for the Panthers, they got to get pressure defense right out the gate. Get a lot of pressure defense, control the pace of the ball with that. And then on the offensive side and defense side, control the force. They got to get underneath there, get the rebounds, block it out, make sure they maybe get some fouls that way as well. And then going over to the Cardinal side, control the tempo. You don't want to get into an upbeat battle with these Panthers. They showed when they were down there at Ellis that they still like to run. They still like to get out, move the ball quickly, and fly up and down the court. So don't get in that tempo, that upscale tempo with them. Slow the thing down, run it where you're comfortable at, and then offense. Be patient, run your offense, work the ball around, find your good shot. Don't get in a hurry and try to take up a shot that you shouldn't probably take. So make sure that they can control what they need to do, and they should be all right. That's what I have for both teams.
All right, as we get set here for the boys' championship, it has been a great tournament, a great week here at the Amos Morris Classic in Russell. Things are about to come to an end as this is the final game of the day and of the tournament as the Phillipsburg Panthers get set to take on the Plainville Cardinals as it is Hayes in for the Cardinals and Miller in for the Panthers. Phillipsburg will go right to left on your radio dial to start this ball game. Ball is up. Miller wins the tip. Ball gets tipped out, though, by Dewey. And let's see. No, they're going to say Sides touched it last. So Plainville will start this ball game with the basketball as Dewey will inbound. And Schubert gets it. Hands it back off to Dewey. Must have been a shoe squeak. I thought our whistle must have been a shoe squeaking. Casey has it out front between the circles. He looks to pass off, gives it over to Pelton, right wing. Pelton out front to Van Schubert. Van Schubert back around to Dewey. Dewey picks up the loose basketball out front to Casey. Casey works against Ty Sides down to the right wing. Picks up his dribble there, looks to pass off, gets it inside to Hayes. Hayes back to Casey. Casey shot up in the paint. It's good. Right up to it. Up with it. Got shot over top of Ty Sides. 7:20 left to go in the first quarter. Plainville takes an early 2-0 lead. Sides has it to Dibble, now to Keaton right wing. Keaton's been the most reliable outside shooter for the Panthers so far this season. Ty Sides has it out front to Ford, now to Keaton. Keaton right wing, down to the baseline to Miller. Miller across the paint, pass stolen away by Casey. Casey leads the break for the Cardinals. Dribbles down to the left side, now dribbles back out front, crosses over to the left wing. As Dewey drives in, picks up his dribble out front to Pelton. Pelton head fakes. Now he puts up the triple. Good! Joel Ford gets past the defense, as we've seen him do a lot already early in this season. And he's going to get the early foul on the Cardinals, their first team foul.
He's one of those players that as soon as the shot goes up, he starts heading the other way. And that allows him to get down there and get behind the defense a lot. So for some quick points. But the Cardinals quickly getting down court, and of course, for him just got on that foul.
Ford misses the first one. 6-foot sophomore, averaging 4.7 points a game. He's a 63% free throw shooter on the season. And missed the first one, and the second one, rebounded by the Cardinals. Jared Casey again brings it left to right on your radio dial, across the timeline, working against Ty Sides, down to the right wing. Pelton again, quick on the trigger. He buries another one. Pelton's got 6, and the Cardinals now lead 8-0. Now the clock running here. And not start the clock when they off of the free throw, or
evidently not.
Now they ran it down to 6:36. See, are they going to count that? I hope so, because I already marked it down. There we go. Now they put the 8 up. So it's 8-0. Clay Pelton's got 6 of the 8. He's hit back-to-back triples for this Plainville Cardinals team. Looks like now we're ready to go.
I say the other two refs, they weren't sure what was going on either, so they had to ask the other ref. I heard one of them yell at him, "Did you run something?" And so evidently the clock didn't get started on that last one.
Keaton has it out front, now to Ford. Ford down to the right corner to Ty Sides. Sides right wing, picks up his dribble out front to Ford, swinging around to Keaton left wing. Keaton looks inside now. Dibble comes up to the top of the key. They swing it back around to Sides in the right corner, and Sides is going to step out of bounds, and it will be Plainville basketball. 6:18 left to go in the first quarter, and Plainville leads Phillipsburg here in the boys championship 8-0.
Cardinals doing a good job on that sideline, using it as another defender. Ty trying to go around, just getting that back foot to slip out of bounds just a little bit.
Van Schuver pushes it up the court. Picked up by Ford. Drives on, excuse me, that was Dewey on the carry, and Dewey takes it all the way in for two.
Good defense there to get those 2 points. At the last second, he had to go through two.
Dewey now has two. Casey strips Austin Miller underneath. Dewey going to take it all the way down to the right wing. Leaves it off for Pelton again for three. He hits another one. Pelton's on fire. 9, and the Plainville Cardinals out early, 13-0 on the Phillipsburg Panthers with 5:48 left to go in the first quarter. Coach Sides wants a timeout to talk things over with his guys. We'll take one with them. You're listening to Panther Basketball on KQMA and the World Wide Web. 13-0, Plainville leads Phillipsburg. 5:40 left to go in the first quarter. Dibble left corner three's on its way, no good. Rebound tracked down by the Cardinals. They push it up the right sideline, all the way across the timeline. That's Dewey with it. Dewey crosses over down to the free throw line, back out top of the key, swings it over to the left side to Casey. Casey directs traffic, asks for a screen, doesn't use it, fakes the pass off the glass, no good. It rattles out and it's rebounded by Dibble. Dibble ahead to Ford. Joel pushes it up the left sideline now, back across the side, stolen away by the Cardinals. That's Dewey again with it. Dewey's going to drive all the way in, and Joe Ford just picked up the foul. His first personal foul, first Panther team foul. With 5:10 left to go in the first quarter, Plainville leads Phillipsburg 13-0 here in the boys' championship of the Amos Morris Classic from Russell High School. Plainville inbounds to Casey. Casey deep to the left wing, three, rattles out, no good. Rebounded by Ty Sides. Sides pushes it back up the court, ahead to Ford. Ford right corner with it. Inside for Miller at the free throw line. Miller, one dribble, shot is up, and no good. Rebounded by Casey. Casey pushes it back up the court, left to right on your radio dial, across the timeline. Just under 5 minutes left to go in the first quarter. Casey between the circles, setting up the offense. Still on the dribble, now bounce past to Hayes. Hayes right wing three's on its way. It rattles out, rebounded by Keaton. Keaton pushes it up ahead to Joel Ford. Ford inside, pass tipped, was it? Nope, they're going to say it was not tipped. Out of bounds it goes. It will be Cardinal basketball. Jeremy Ford in the ball game. Ethan Leidig in the ball game, and for the first time this season, Tyler Martin in the ball game, as he's been in dress or street clothes the first 3 games of the year. So good to see Tyler out on the court for the Panthers, as we know that he can stretch the floor and hit some shots from outside and play pretty darn good defense too.
Plays good defense as well, but the Panthers, they need a spark from someone here. They've only had a couple shots and they've both all missed so far, but the Panthers just looking to try to get something going.
Hayes has it, left right wing. Out front now to Dewey. Dewey between the circles, picks up his dribble now to Casey. Inside for Hayes, right block, works against Miller. Shot no good, rebounded by Leidig. Leidig quickly ahead to Martin. Martin behind the defense. Layup is no good. It rolls off the front of the iron and it's rebounded by Pelton. Pelton pushes it quickly up the court. Now hands it off to Dewey. Dewey down to the top of the key, dribbles over to the left wing. Dewey picks up his dribble, looks inside for Dobson. Dobson works at the left block against Miller, back out front to Dewey. Dewey left wing with it. 4 minutes left to go in the first quarter. Plainville still leads 13-0 over Phillipsburg here in the boys championship game. Casey inside for Hayes. Hayes right block up and good.
Great pass there by Casey. Put the ball up towards the basketball. Then Hayes have to go after it. Hayes going after it, getting wide open shots back.
Makes it 15-0 as Jeremy Ford looks for Austin Miller. It's stolen away by Plainville, and they bring it back again the other way with 3:35 left to go in the first quarter. As Dewey blocked by Miller. Ball gets tipped out, and they're going to say last touch by Plainville. So Miller blocked that one. As Preston Ostermeyer comes in the ball game. 6-foot junior for Plainville. He'll come in. Hayes takes a seat. It is Phillipsburg basketball. Plainville leads Phillipsburg. 3.5 minutes left to go in the first quarter. 15-0. Tyler Martin with the basketball. Thought about the three, doesn't take it. Ty Sides will, and he left it short. No good. Rebound, fought for. Still fighting for it. Ty comes away with the basketball. Ty Sides with it. Skip past the Leidig, right wing. Leidig inside for Miller at the free throw line. Kicks it back out. Ty Sides left wing. He's going to drive in. Left block up and good. Ty Sides gets the Panthers on the board. Their first field goal coming with 3:07 left to go here in the first quarter. And the Plainville Cardinals leading 15-2. Jared Casey all the way down to the right wing. He looked inside for Ostermeyer. Foul going to be called on Austin Miller. His first personal foul, second Panther team foul.
Ostermeyer doing a good job getting his backside on Miller, making it hard for Miller to go for that steal. Miller went for it, and he got the foul instead.
Pelton gets the inbounds pass to the right wing. Out front to Casey. They leave him open, and he cannot make him pay as he misses the three as it rolled out. Ty Sides comes down with the rebound. Leaves it for Jeremy Ford at the left block. It's up too hard, no good. Rebounded by Jared Casey. Casey ahead to Dobson. Dobson loses the handle on it out of bounds. You're going to say Tyler Martin touched it last, and it will be Plainville basketball. Back into the ball game will be Kagan Keaton and Parker Dibble. Austin Miller takes a seat. Tyler Martin takes a seat. Joel Ford comes back in. Ethan Leidig takes a seat. Also in for the Plainville Cardinals, Parker Probe into the ball game. Clay Pelton going to take the seat. He's had a great first quarter for the Cardinals. He's hit 3 3-pointers and has 9 of their 15 as Plainville leads Phillipsburg 15-2. 2:40 left to go here in the first quarter. They get the ball inside to Casey. He's got the size mismatch against Ty Sides. Instead passes it back out to Ostermeyer. Now back to Casey. Casey goes to work down to the left wing, or left baseline. Kicks it back out to the left wing. Dewey drives in and gives it back to Casey. Casey drives in, left block over Dibble. Shot no good, rebounded by Casey. He kicks it back out to Dewey, left wing. Dewey, head fakes. He's going to drive in, shot up in the paint, and it's good. Casey comes away with the steal. Dewey gets the one attempt, and Jared Casey going to get the assist. We'll have the free throw line for another one attempt. It's the third team foul on the Panthers. And it's going to be on Jeremy Ford, his first.
That's a quick steal there for Cardinals. Got it right off the inbounds pass. Quick enough that I barely got my head back up to see Casey driving the baseline. Just a quick pass off. So good job there by the Cardinals.
Austin Miller comes back in. Jeremy Ford takes a seat. Dewey's free throws on. It's away and good. He now has 7, and Plainville extends their lead to 18 points. They lead 20-2 with 2 minutes left to go in the first quarter. Dibble has it around to Keaton left wing. Keaton looks inside for Miller, couldn't get it to him. Ford has it out front now to Sides right wing. Miller gets it back to Sides. Sides pump fakes, drives in. Top of the key now to Miller at the free throw line. He looks in for Dibble, out of bounds off of Jared Casey, and it will be Panther basketball. Is into the ball game will be Ethan Hamilton, a 5'8" sophomore. He'll come in. Dewey takes a seat.
Casey upset with himself on that one as it went right through his hands and out of bounds. Otherwise, Casey in the right position to try to take that interception.
Keaton has it now to Sides, top of the key. Ty pump fakes. He's going to drive in. Kicks it back out. Keaton left corner. Three's on its way. No good. Rebounded by Jared Casey. Casey leads the break up by 18. It's 20-2. Plainville leads Phillipsburg. 1.5 minutes left to go in the first quarter here at the boys championship of the Amos Morris Classic. They get the ball inside to Ostermeyer. Tipped out of bounds by Austin Miller, and it will be Plainville basketball as Tyler Martin comes back into the ball game. Martin comes in. Ty Side's going to take his seat. 1:26 left to go in the first quarter. Plainville leads by 18 over Phillipsburg, 20-2. Jared Casey goes to work against Tyler Martin. Casey drives all the way in, looks underneath for Dobson, stolen away by Keaton. Kagan drives all the way down to the top of the key, picks up his dribble, tip, and fighting for the basketball. Joel Ford comes away with it. Now back to Keaton. Back out front to Ford, around to Martin right wing. 1:10 left to go in the first quarter. Plainville leads Phillipsburg 20-2. Ford has it now to Miller. Miller, long twos on its way, and it's good.
Miller getting a nice touch from the 1-2 on that one. Able to get the shot off, even with defense right there in front of him.
Makes it 20-4. A 16-point to Plainville lead with 52 seconds left to go in the first quarter. Casey has it out front now to Dobson. Dobson inside for Probe. Shots on its way. Good for 3. Because that was Probe for 3. So Probe makes it 23-4 with 32 seconds left to go in the first quarter. Plainville leads by 19. Keaton has it at the left wing. Out front to Ford, to the right wing to Martin. Martin pump fakes. They get it inside to Dibble. Touch pass to Miller. Right corner, long two, no good. Left to short, rebounded by Casey. Jared looks up at the clock, sees 14 seconds, going to take his time for the final shot here for the Plainville Cardinals in the first quarter. Plainville leads 23-4 as Casey drives in. Right wing to Krob. Krob three's on its way, and he Plainville Cardinals lead the Gopher Panthers 26-4 after the first quarter. We'll take a timeout here. We'll be back with the second quarter of action as you're listening to Panther Basketball on KQMA and the World Wide Web. Jess ran alongside Robbie Gibson. At the end of the first quarter, it's all Plainville 26-4 over the Phillipsburg Panthers. Panthers got 2 points from Ty Sides and 2 from Austin Miller. For the Cardinals, it's been a 3-point onslaught. It's 6 points for Parker Krob on 2 3-pointers. Jared Casey only has 2 points at this point. Clay Pelton's hit 3 3-pointers for 9 points to lead all scores. Anders Dewey has 7, and Eli Hayes has 2 for Plainville. And it is Phillipsburg basketball to start the second quarter. Ty Sides has it. It's swinging around the left wing to Keaton. Keaton looks in, finds Miller on the left baseline inside for Dibble. Out of bounds it goes, off touched by Dawson. And it will remain Phillipsburg basketball.
Good job there by the Cardinals getting on the backside of Dawson. As soon as the pass started going into him, just got in front, tipped that down.
Dibble, free throw line jumper, left is short, rebounded by Miller. Miller falls down, gets the pass off to Dibble. Dibble's shot is up, no good. Tipped by Dibble into the hands, though, of the Cardinals. Dewey has it. Dewey drives all the way inside to the left wing, kicks it back out front. Dobson's three's on its way. His shot no good. Rebounded by Plainville. Dewey again with the basketball. Looks, passes off. That is to Hamilton. Hamilton top of the key with it. Back to Dewey, right wing. Dewey looks inside. Dewey now back out front between the circles to Osmeyer. And it's going to be tipped out by Kagan Keaton, so it will be Plainville basketball. 7:17 left to go in the first half. In the ball game, Jeremy Ford and Austin Miller going to take a seat. 26-4, Plainville leads Phillipsburg here in the boys' championship of the Amos Morris Classic as Dewey goes to work against Ty Sides, picks up his dribble, looks to pass off, goes to the right wing. Krob again for 3, this time no good. Rebound tipped around, out of bounds it goes. You're going to say last touch by Plainville. So Phillipsburg basketball, 7:06 left to go in the first half. And it is Plainville up 26-4 over Phillipsburg here at Russell High School in the Amos Morris Classic Boys Championship game. Phillipsburg with the basketball. Ty Sides out front to Jeremy Ford. They swing it around to Keaton, down to the right corner to Joel Ford. Joel back to Keaton, out front to Jeremy. Jeremy Ford inside for Parker Dibble. Back out front to Keaton. Keaton left wing to Sides. Ty puts up the 3, no good. Put back by Joel Ford is. What a great putback by Joel Ford.
Good job by Joel Ford flying in there, getting the rebound before he even hit the ground, got it back up off the backboard.
Keaton comes away with the steal. He gets the ball back, right corner, 3's on its way, and he buries it.
And Keaton for 3.
And now we got a timeout call. Or no, just got players being moved in and out. There's so many subbing in and out. I thought they called a timeout that time.
I was lost on that too. I heard the whistle, looked up, and everybody was just kind of moving around. I thought it was timeout. I don't know what was going on.
26-9 as the Plainville Cardinals leave as Anders Dewey drives all the way in, tries to leave it off for Eli Hayes, and it's tipped out by Austin Miller, and it will be Plainville basketball. 6:20 left to go in the first half. Plainville leads 26-9 as Phillipsburg right now on a 5-0 run to start this half. Hayes is shot too short, no good. A jump ball called. It will remain Plainville basketball.
Not sure if Miller might have got a little bit of that ball on that shot there.
If he didn't, he definitely affected it.
I would say he definitely affected it if he didn't get a fingertip on it at least.
Hayes gets the inbounds pass, guarded tightly by Miller. They go out front to Van Schuver. Now to the right wing to Dewey, inside for Casey. Casey, turn around 18-footer, too hard, no good. Rebounded by Ty Sides as Ty stepped out of bounds, and it will be Plainville basketball. And Ty was walking the tightrope over there on the baseline. could not quite keep that foot in as it goes out of bounds, as he stepped out of bounds, and it will be Plainville basketball. 6:03 left to go in the first half. 26-9 is our score. Plainville leads Phillipsburg here in the Amos Morris Classic Boys Championship. Pelton gets the inbounds pass, dribbles to the top of the key, picks up his dribble, looks to pass off, gets it to Dewey. Dewey on the dribble working against Tyler Martin. Dewey drives all the way in, floater off the back of the iron, no good. Rebound fought for, Miller comes down with it into the hands of Keaton. Kagan quickly up the court, now to Ty. Ty, top of the key with a bounce pass back to Keaton, left wing. Keaton back out front to sides between the circles, 3, and he buries it.
Back off the three-point line a little bit and get some range in there.
26-12, the Panthers trying to come back in this ball game as they trail 26-4 at the end of the first quarter. Right now it's 26-12. Plainville leads Phillipsburg. 5:22 left to go in the first half. Casey goes to work down to the right block. Wraparound pass for Dewey. Extra pass out to Van Schubert. Tipped down by Miller. Now into the hands of Dewey. Dewey back out to Van Schubert, and he's going to get called for the double dribble. Well, here's your breaking news, Robbie. It's really not that breaking because everybody expected it. Joe Burrell's your Heisman Trophy winner for college football.
Yeah, no.
Have you had the Heisman Trophy ceremony on DVR? I'm sorry, I just ruined that for you.
No, I didn't, but I'm sure someone probably did.
No real surprise. Joe Burrow, the Heisman Trophy winner, is right now. We're in the boys' championship game of the Amos Morris Classic from Russell High School. Jared Casey comes away with the steal from Ethan Leidig as Pelton stops and pops for 3. No good this time. Rebounded by Ty Sides. 26-12. Plainville leads Phillipsburg with 4:45 left to go in the first half. Ty Sides has it between the legs, dribble, drives into the left elbow, now to Miller. Miller again, deep 2, left that one short, no good. Rebound, fought for. Jared Casey comes down with it for Plainville. Plainville has the basketball. It's Jared Casey out front. He's going to stop and pop for 3. No good. Rebounded by Dewey. Dewey out to Pelton. Pelton on the dribble working against Leidig. Ball gets tipped and it's thrown away by Ty Sides. Ty going to go one-on-one with Jared Casey, and he's going to be fouled. First foul on Jared Casey. Second, a Cardinals team foul. Not a bad foul that time. If you're Coach Drees, you're not too mad at Jared Casey for making Ty Sides have to go to the free throw line instead of giving him an easy layup.
You're right. That's a foul that most coaches will give up unless it's maybe 2 or 3 seconds left of the game and you're tied. Otherwise, that's not a bad foul at all. It's just a little hustle foul. Make sure you go after the ball to get him at the free throw line. And in this case, he's missed the first one. It paid off.
Ty, as Robbie said, misses the first one. Austin Miller comes to the sideline. Jeremy Ford back into the ball game. 4:14 left to go in the first half. Plainville leads 26-13 as Ty hits the second one. He now has 6 and it makes it. Plainville has a double on Phillipsburg. Dewey quickly up the court. Now to Casey. Casey passes it over to Crow. Crow's 3 on the way, no good. Rebounded by Dibble. Dibble out ahead to Leidig. Ethan Leidig quickly up the court ahead to Joel Ford, right wing. Ford inside for Dibble. Dibble drives inside. Layup is good.
That one and go for the layup. Otherwise, he definitely was going to get called with that travel on that one. So good heads-up play there by Dibble to make the travel turn into 2 points.
Coach Drees wants a timeout to try to end this 11-0 run that the Phillipsburg Panthers are on. We'll keep this one here and let you know this broadcast is made possible in part by the fiber optic network of NextTech. Provide state-of-the-art communication services in the region for more than 60 years. NextTech bring high-tech to the high plains. So, Robbie, it was early. It was all Plainville as they led 26-4 at the end of the first quarter. Here in the second quarter, it's been all Phillipsburg. They're on an 11-0 run, and they trail 26-15 with 3:51 left to go in the half.
When you look back at that first quarter, the Cardinals there was 5 of 8 from the three-point line, shooting 62% from there, and 10 of 17 from the field, shooting 59%. And now here in the second quarter, they're 0 of 5 from the three-point line and 0 of 9 from the field. So big turnaround from the first quarter to the second quarter in the shooting for the Cardinals.
Full court pressure by the Panthers. This is Cardinal basketball to start the second half as Dewey drives all the way in. They leave it off for Crow, right wing out front to Casey. Casey pump fakes, drives in. Shot is up. He's quadruple teamed as there was 4 Panthers in the paint. And Ethan Leidig going to get called for a foul. His first personal, 4th Panther team foul. And Jared Casey heads to the free throw line for the Cardinals. Tried to end the 11-0 run. 12-0 run that the Panthers are on.
Casey played down perfectly, driving down the lane, just gave a jump. As soon as he jump stopped, gave a pump, and 2 of the Panthers went up. He went up after him and getting that foul as they were coming back down. So good job there by Casey.
Should be 15, 27-15. They have 16 up on the board. Jared Casey hits both free throws. Panther basketball as Leidig has it to the left wing to Joel Ford. Ford out front to Ty Sides. Three-pointers on its way. He hits another one.
Get down, drop again from about the same area.
28-18 as the Panthers again force a turnover. Ty Sides gets fouled by Jared Casey again. His second personal foul, third Cardinal team foul, and Ty's headed back to the free throw line.
That was a good heads-up play there by Ty Sides. That comes with some experience. Gets the steal, gets on the inside of Casey, knows Casey's going to go up behind him, gives him a pump. Casey goes up, just jumps up after him, and lets Casey just uses Casey's body against him, as Casey's a lot bigger underneath there than Ty is.
All Jared could do was throw his hands up in the air. Come on. Gets called for a second foul as he'll come to the sideline. Ty hits the first one and makes it a single-digit lead for Plainville, 28-19. It's the closest the Panthers have been in a long, long time. As Ty hits them both, as Ty Sides with 11 here in the first half. Kagan Keaton comes in, Ethan Leidig getting to take a seat. 3:11 left to go here in the first half. Plainville leads Phillipsburg 28-19. The Panthers on a 15-2 run. Now they have 20 up on the board. I'm not real sure where they're getting that extra point from, but okay. As it is going to be Plainville basketball. Dalton has the free throw line jumpers on its way. Good. Makes it 30-20. Sides has it Keaton in the right corner. Keaton back out front to Sides. Sides pump fakes. He's going to drive in. Loses the handle on it into Jeremy Ford. It's going away by Van Schubert. Van Schubert on the fast break. Left block. And no good. There's going to be fouled by Joe Ford. Ford's second personal foul. Fifth Panther team foul.
Ford tried to slow down enough to let him get in front of him, and then just go up from behind and block it, but catching him with his body on his back, trying to get that block.
30-20 is our score. So they kind of keep switching things back and forth. Now it's at 20 as Van Schubert misses the first one.
Look up there a second ago, since they had it at 21.
Huh?
They had it at 21.
Yeah, and then they've changed. They had it at 20, then they put it at 21, then they put it back at 20. I have 20, so. And it's 30-20. Plainville leads Phillipsburg with 2:36 left to go. Second free throw rattles in. So Caden Van Schubert gets his first point of the ball game, makes it an 11-point lead once again for the Plainville Cardinals, 31-20. Jeremy Ford has it. Wraparound pass for Miller. Miller loses the handle on it, and that's, well, because he was fouled. Fourth team foul on the Cardinals. Foul's on Dewey. His first personal foul. They are going to say the foul was on the floor, so it will be. Phillipsburg basketball underneath their own basket. As well, for a second there, we thought Tyler Martin might be checking back in. Instead, he heads back to the sideline as Miller gets the inbounds pass, kicks out the Leidig right wing. Leidig out front to Sides between the circles. Ty directs traffic to Miller at the free throw line. Miller drives in, spin move, shot up in the paint, rolls out, no good. Rebounded by Krob. Krob tries to hand it off to Pelton. Pelton saves it in, but right in the hands of Jeremy Ford. Ford back out to Sides. Sides top the key. Three's on its way. No good. Too hard this time. Rebounded by Van Schubert. Van Schubert looks to hand it off, and it goes to the hands of Krob. Krob now to Dewey. Maybe you're right, Rob. I mean, maybe he does need to scoot back. That time he was right on the line and went off the back of the iron.
Well, most of the shots that I've seen, he's been right up on the line pretty much. And go back to last year, most of his shots were backed off the line, so just needs to back up, I think, a little bit.
Pelton with it in the left corner. Out front to Dewey. Dewey on the dribble. Splits the defense, tipped out, and it's picked up by Jeremy Ford. Ford picks up the dribble now to Ty Sides. Minute 35 left to go in the first half. As they find Miller inside, and Miller gets the easy 2 points.
Let him on a bounce pass around his defender when he came up. His defender was on his back, and the goal was in his front.
31-22. Phillipsburg trails of Plainville here with a minute 15 left to go in the first half. Miller comes away with the steal. Miller on the fast break, goes up, layup is good.
Basketball out, that one, as the ball got caught into the backboard of the rim.
So with that, a minute 8 left to go in the first half. Phillipsburg trails Plainville 31-24. Coach Freeze wants another timeout. We'll take one with him as you're listening to Panther Basketball on KQMA and the World Wide Web. Minute 8 left to play in the first half. Plainville leads Phillipsburg 31-24, but Phillipsburg has fought back into this ball game as it was 26-4. Plainville up at the end of the first quarter. Pelton has it right corner for Plainville. The Dewey right wing. Dewey looks inside for Hayes, gets it to him at the right elbow. The kick at the left wing to Hamilton. Back inside for Hayes. Hayes goes to work in the paint, and he's on one for an and one.
Hayes by the Cardinals, getting into Hayes in the post. Hayes just going to work underneath, getting fouls, going up for 2.
Fouls on Jeremy Ford, his second personal foul. Miller comes back in. And Ford takes a seat. Hayes and one attempt is good. Hayes has 5, and it puts the lead back to 9, 33-24. 43 seconds left to go in the first half. Martin has it left corner. Inside for Miller. Miller's shot up in the paint is good.
Miller starting to go working that low block, getting some good passes into him.
33-26. Plainville leads Phillipsburg with 28 seconds left to go in the first half. He picked up his dribble, did Dewey. Gets it off to Hamilton. Back to Dewey. Dewey works against Martin to the top of the key. Dewey still on the dribble now, picks it up, gives it to Pelton in the right corner. Pelton inside for Hayes. Hayes over Miller and dribble. Rebounded by Hayes. Fouled his shot. Thompson's two-pointer is good. Sides at the buzzer for 3. He buries it! It's a spike line 3, and Ty Sides buries it at the buzzer.
I told you, he just needs to step back off the three-point line. That time, able to drop that in. Nothing but the bottom of the net right at the buzzer.
So Phillipsburg trails Plainville at the half. We'll be right back with your halftime report right after this as you listen to Panther Basketball on KQMA and the World Wide Web. 36-29. Plainville leads Phillipsburg at halftime. Robbie, quickly give us your keys to victory.
Well, for the Panthers, they got to get in there and get some rebounds. The Cardinals have really been able to get in there, get those rebounds. The Panthers have to make sure they're blocking out and get those rebounds to get the things going in their direction. Then communicate on D. There's been a lot of shots put up by the Cardinals that were open shots and good looking shots, so they got to communicate on D and know where all those shooters are to get the defense on them. And then for the Cardinals, pressure defense. In that first quarter, they put a lot of pressure on the Panthers. Were able to get some quick steals and quick points up on the board, so we got to get that pressure defense going. And then on offense, once again, be patient, work the ball around, find that open shot, as they found them in that first quarter, and they're really able to get things going through the first quarter. That's what I have for both teams.
All right, Panther basketball start this second half as they go left to right on your radio dial. Plainville leads 36-29 over Phillipsburg here in the boys championship game. We start the second half. They get it inside for Miller. Touch pass to Dibble. Dibble shot is up and good.
Great job there by the post for the Panthers. Finding Dibble. Dibble going up quickly with him.
That makes it a 5-point game, 36-31. Dewey drives all the way inside, loses the handle on it, fighting for the basketball, still fighting for it. As Pelton and Miller got tied up, jump ball called, and it will be Plainville basketball.
Hustle there by Miller, almost getting the ball pulled out of Pelton's hands. As Pelton on his back, trying to hold on for dear life for that ball.
Pelton gets the inbounds pass, tipped out by Ty Sides. Pelton tracks it back down, gets the pass over to Casey. Casey pump fakes. He's going to drive in, leaves it underneath for Hayes. Hayes is shot too hard, no good. Rebounded by Dibble. Dibble hands it off to Ty Sides. Left to right go the Panthers on your radio dial. 7:15 left to go in the third quarter. Keaton has it out front to Sides. Sides pump fakes back to Keaton in the left corner. Keaton looks inside for Miller. Now dribbles up to the left wing to Dibble. Back down to Miller in the baseline. Kicks it back out to Dibble to Keaton left wing. Three's on its way. No good. Too hard. Rebounded by the Cardinals. And Joel Ford picked up his third personal foul with the reach. First Panthers team foul.
Joel's trying to get in there, tip that ball out. There's getting called without reach as reach across against the ball.
Ethan Leidig comes back into the ball game for the Panthers. So Ford takes a seat with those 3 fouls. 7 minutes left to go in the third quarter. Plainville leads by 5, 36-31. As Dewey brings it up the court, guarded by Leidig. Dewey across the timeline, picks up his dribble, guarded tightly by Leidig, down to the left corner to Van Schuver, out front to Casey. Inside for Hayes. Hayes goes to work against Miller. Hook shot, no good. Rebounded by Casey. Casey turnaround shot, quadruple team. Got blocked out of there by Leidig. Out of bounds it goes, and it will be Cardinal basketball.
Panthers doing a good job collapsing into the lane when the ball goes up like that to at least get a chance of blocking.
Ball up for grabs, and Pelton comes away with the loose basketball, and he's going to be fouled. Second foul on the Panthers, and the second on Ethan Leidig.
Not a whole lot Leidig could do on that one. He was standing there as the jump went through him, and he just kind of hit the body as the guy went flying through. Didn't catch you. It was flying through, but Leidig just kind of had to stand there and take it.
Dewey drives all the way inside, and shot no good. Left it short, rebounded by Leidig. Leidig leads the break now for the Panthers. Brings it across the timeline with 6:26 left to go. They get it to Miller at the free throw line. Underneath for Dibble. Dibble couldn't quite haul that one in as it goes in the hands of Jared Casey. Casey back up the court now to Pelton. Right corner 3. No good. Rebound getting tracked down by Ty Sides. Ty leads the break. He's going to drive all the way in. Right block over Casey. No good. Rebound tracked down by Pelton. Pelton leaves it off for Dewey. Dewey behind the defense, and he's got to lay it.
Dewey all alone by himself behind the defense. Quickly get it.
Makes it a 7-point ball game once again for the Plainville Cardinals. 38-31. Just under 6 minutes left to go here in the third quarter. Have a kickball violation. So will remain Panther basketball.
Just once again looking inside to get that to Miller. It's Miller. It's kind of started there late in the second quarter, getting things going underneath there, getting some good posts. That time, once again, in the right position.
Keaton has it in the right corner. Bounce pass inside for Miller. Miller tries to split the defense. Gets it to Dibble all by himself. Left block and good. That's what happens sometimes when you have help defense. Sometimes your guy ends up wide open just like that.
Casey came over for the help defense on that one, leaving Dibble all alone on the other block. Miller able to find it.
38-33, again a 5-point Cardinal lead. They lead Phillipsburg here in the boys championship of the Amos Morris Classic. Just under 5.5 minutes left to go in the third quarter. Plainville basketball. Dewey has it out front. Dribbles over to the right wing. Picks up his dribble there. Looks to pass it off. Does so to Casey. Casey on the dribble. Jared directs traffic down to the free throw line. Up, and the runner's good.
Casey.
He now has 6 points. 5:07 left to go here in the third quarter.
had an inadvertent whistle there. I think the ref that was closest to Coach Drees thought he called a timeout, and he was just talking to one of his players, and so the ball's right back to Phil for Rosette.
Sides inside for Miller, stolen away by Casey. Casey crosses over. He's going to drive in. No look pass to Dewey. Back to Casey. Casey gets it back on the baseline as Plainville fans are yelling at Anders Dewey that you should have shot that when he was wide open. Instead, passing it back to Casey. Hayes has it. Right block, no good. Rebounded by Sides. Now a foul going to be called on the Plainville Cardinals. Their first team foul.
Cardinals fans, though, they're exactly right. Dewey was wide open. Casey gave a no-look pass over to Dewey, and Dewey, no Panther defender close to him, and tried to pass it right back across to Casey that had the defender on him. So, not sure what was going on there. Maybe he thought that the Panther defender was going to come over on him quicker, so he was trying to give it back to Casey for an open shot, but the defender just stayed with Casey.
Parker Double takes his seat. Jeremy Ford back into the ball game for the Panthers. Leidig has it left wing. Out front now to Keaton. 40-33. Plainville leads by 7. 4.5 minutes left to go in the third quarter here at the Amos Morris Classic Boys Championship game. Ty Sides has it between the circles. Ty drives in, picks up his dribble, gives it to Ford, left corner. Jeremy drives the baseline, shot is up, no good. Rebounded by Hayes. Hayes outlets to Casey. Casey brings it up the court for Plainville. Down to the right wing to Dewey, into the right corner to Pelton. Pelton skip past to Hayes, almost tipped out there by Miller. Hayes has it now to Van Schuver. Van Schuver's three's on its way, good. Now we have a foul call. Fouls on Plainville. And Shiver with the foul, his first personal foul. So hits a three and comes back on the other end, gets called for a foul. It's a 10-point Plainville lead, 43-33, 3:50 left to go in the third quarter. Miller has it, 18-foot baseline jumper too hard, rebounded by Casey as it went right into his hands. Didn't even have to move for that rebound. That's probably the easiest rebound he's gonna have all night. As Dewey has it out front, back to Casey, right wing. Casey, deep three, NBA range, left that one short, rebounded by Miller. Miller looks to outlet. Does so to Ty Sides. 3.5 minutes left to go in the third quarter. A 10-point Plainville lead, 43-33. Sides back to Miller. Miller drives in. Shot is up and good.
Good job there by Miller getting at the top of the key, making one move, and it didn't feel like it was.
Makes it 43-35 as they pass it down to Pelton in the right corner. His three's on its way. No good, misses everything. Rebounded by Jeremy Ford, now in the hands of Ty Sides. 3:08 left to go in the third quarter. Ty drives into Keaton left corner. Keaton drives in, kicks out the Leidig right wing. Leidig now to Jeremy Ford. Top of the key to the free throw line. Ford goes to work. Shot is up and no good. Rebound tracked down by Jared Casey. Casey up the court to Pelton, right wing, inside for Dewey. Dewey kicks it back out to Casey. Casey's going to drive in, kicks it back out to Pelton, right corner, three's on its way. Good.
The Cardinals to find him out there.
Ty Sides tries to answer, and he does so. Ty Sides that one. He's got 17. He leads all scores, and a timeout called with 2:29 left to go in this third quarter. The Plainville Cardinals lead the Phillipsburg Panthers 46-38. As Coach Sides calls a timeout, we'll take one with them as you're listening to Panther Basketball on KQMA and the World Wide Web. .29 left to play in the third quarter of the boys championship game of the Amos Morris Classic from Russell High School. The score 46, Plainville. Phillipsburg 38. Plainville basketball out of the timeout. Dewey has it, head to Casey. Casey looking, lets everybody clear out. Now he's double teamed by the Ford twins. Casey still on the dribble. Crosses over. Down to the left wing, picks up his dribble inside now. Shot is up, may have partially been blocked by Parker Dibble, and Sides comes away with the basketball. Keaton drives in, leaves it off to go forward, stolen away, and gonna have a foul call here. see who this is going to be on. I don't know if it's going to be on Keaton or Krogh. Both wear number 2, so now we're really going to have to pay attention. I heard Plainville fans yell first, so it must have been on Parker Krogh, his first personal foul, third Cardinal team foul.
I said the ref really never did point. He said to the scores table, but never pointed which way it was.
Ford gets the inbounds to Dibble. Dibble shot up in the paint too hard off the glass. No good. Rebounded by Hayes. Hayes lets everybody clear out and then hands it off to Jared Casey. Just under 2 minutes left to play in the third quarter. Plainville leads Phillipsburg 46-38 here in the boys' championship of the Amos Morris Classic. Plainville 3-0 on the year. Phillipsburg 2-1. Hayes has it left block and it's good.
Had Dibble on the backside. Dibble went up to the block for just a second. Trying to get it.
Joel Ford has it in the right corner. Back out front to Sides between the circles. Back to Ford, inside for Jeremy. Jeremy, right block, too short, off the glass, gets his own rebound, put back too hard this time, rebounded by Jared Casey. Casey. And a foul going to be called here on Jeremy Ford, his third personal foul, and the third Panther team foul. As Miller comes back in, Jeremy Ford going to take a seat. A minute 24 left to play in the third quarter. It is a 10-point Cardinal lead once again. They lead 48-38. Jared Casey gets the inbounds pass. Joel Ford going to get called for his fourth personal foul. And the fourth Panthers team foul.
Joel Ford doing the right idea there, but wrong guy to try to do
I
that.
think he took a forearm to the head that time. He got up, though, so that's all that really matters.
That's all that matters, but that hurt.
Minute 18 left to play in the third quarter. Plainville leads by 10, 48-38. Casey gets the inbound entry pass at the right block, takes one dribble, and he's going to run for an and one.
Casey got that pass, instantly triple teamed, took one step back and one dribble, and he was around that triple team right at the basket for a shot.
Ford going to take a seat with those 4 fouls. Ethan Leidig comes back into the ball game. For Plainville, Preston Ostermeyer comes back in, and Eli Hayes going to take a seat. Jared Casey at the free throw line for his and one attempt as that foul was called on Austin Miller, his second personal foul. Casey's and one is good. So Jared Casey now with 9 points, and it makes it a 51-38 lead as Plainville has extended their lead here in this third quarter with a minute 5 left to play in the third quarter. Kai Sides has it down the right wing. He's on the dribble still, asking for another screen from Dibble, gets it out front, now asking for Keaton to come get the ball. Keaton does now to Dibble. Dibble drives in underneath for Miller, stripped by Dobson. Dobson looks the pass off, does go to Casey. Casey going to bring it up the court, 47 seconds left to go in the third quarter. Plainville leads Phillipsburg 51-38. Plainville has the basketball. Jared Casey out front, guarded by Kagan Keaton. Casey directs traffic, drives all the way in. Right block over Miller, no good. Rebound, 5-4, still fighting for it. Keaton tips it out, but goes right in the hands of Dewey. Dewey puts up the 3, no good. Rebounded this time by Dibble. Dibble hands it off the sides. Baseball pass ahead to Miller. Miller then gets a strip by Jared Casey. Casey brings it back the other way for the Plainville Cardinals. Casey gonna let time run out the third quarter. Now he's going to put up a spike line 3, and he misses everything that time. That's not something we're going to be able to say very often. Jared Casey misses everything, but nonetheless, he did this time, and it is Panther basketball. 7.5 seconds left to go, and Casey going to take a seat. That Coach Tree's going to give him a little bit of an extra break here before the third quarter runs out. Again, 7.5 seconds left to go in the third quarter, and Plainville up 51-38. Dibble inbounds to Sides. Sides gets to the half court with 5 seconds left. Gets a screen out front, splits the defense, free throw line, floater, no good, and that's how the third quarter ends with Plainville up 51-38. We'll take a timeout here. We'll be back with the fourth quarter of action right after this as you're listening to Panther Basketball on KQMA and the World Wide Web. Plainville led 26-4 at the end of the first quarter. Phillipsburg then outscored Plainville 25-10 in the second quarter to make it 36-29 at halftime. Plainville had then just outscored Phillipsburg 15-9 in that third quarter to lead 51-38 here at the start of the fourth quarter. Leidig, Keaton, Dibble, Miller, and Sides for the Panthers. Let's see, it looks like out there is Hamilton. Also out there is Krob, Helton. Also out there is Ostermeyer and Dobson for Plainville. Phillipsburg basketball as Keaton gets tripped up the right wing, gets it down to Dibble, inside for Miller. Miller goes to work at the right block, and he's going to be fouled. They say fouls on the floor, though. Fourth Cardinals team foul.
Good look to get that into Miller as Miller had the position coming and rolling to the low block, quickly bounce pass into the middle of the lane to him. Just getting fouled as they try to go for the steal.
Dobson with the foul. Miller gets the inbound pass. Shot no good. Left it short. Dobson comes out with the rebound. Trying to get it out to Hamilton. Through his hands out of bounds. It goes, and it will be Panther basketball. Phillips are really trying to get it inside to Austin Miller, especially when Jared Casey isn't in the game. And he's not even the guy guarding him, but he comes over for help defense, I'm guessing, is why.
He comes over for the help defense, and if Miller doesn't get the position that he'd like against Casey, so that might be a reason why.
Trying to get it inside for Miller. Turnaround shot in the paint, no good this time. Rebound put back by Dibble is.
That might be the other reason why they're also misses. Dibble's on the other side to get that.
So 51-40. 11-point Cardinal lead as Ethan Leidig steals it away. Leidig drives all the way in, left block, and he's going to go to the ground hard as he was fouled by Parker Crow. His second personal foul, fifth Cardinal team foul. And Ethan Leidig will head to the free throw line to shoot a 2 here. His first attempt from the line in this season.
Crow went for the steal and just kind of undercut Leidig a little bit. Leidig ended up on the ground. Good to see him pop right back up, though, as that was a hard fall.
So Leidig looking for his first point of the ball game, and cannot find it there. Misses the first one. As Hayes, a Dewey, and a Shiver, and Casey all come back in. Helton the only one to stay on the court for the Plainville Cardinals. 7:07 left to play in the ball game. The boys' championship of the Amos Morris Classic from Russell High School. Plainville leads 51-43, as Leidig does hit that one. Well, it should be 41. I don't know why they got 43 up there. Nonetheless, it is a Cardinal basketball as they lead by 10. Casey gets it inside, tipped out by Sides into the hands of Miller. Sides pushes it quickly up the court. Sides down the right wing to Keaton. Keaton finds an opening, leaves it off for Dibble. And get on the foul call, and then they're going to say a charge called on Keaton. Casey had his feet planted. His first personal foul, sixth Panther team foul.
Come on, Red! Casey just kind of sitting there underneath, guarding his guy. Keaton went to drive through and just ran over Casey. Don't see that one happen very often.
So, on the scoreboard, it reads 51-43. I have 51-41, so I'm sure Coach Sides likes that extra 2 points on the board. 6:35 left to go in the ball game. Plainville leads Phillipsburg here in the boys' championship, the Amos Morris Classic. To get it inside for Casey. Quick pass for Dewey. Shot no good. Rebound put back by Hayes. No good. Rebounded by Miller. Miller hands it off to Keaton. Keaton pushes it up the court with 6:20 left to go. He looks for Leidig out of bounds. It goes, and it will be Plainville basketball.
Panthers having kind of a turnover bug here in the game. They're at 14 right now. That was 15. So some miscommunication between the Panthers is kind of really resulting in them not making a comeback here.
So Jeremy Ford back into the ball game. Dibble takes a seat. They pass it ahead to Casey. Casey quickly across the timeline down to the top of the key. Casey on the dribble. Going to reset the offense around to Pelton left wing. Pelton hesitates. Look for Hayes and is thrown away by Sides. Sides leads the break for the Panthers down to the left wing. He hesitates. Drives all the way in. Left block. No good. Rebound put back by Jeremy Ford. Good. Nice job there. Had that rebound. There's another second one down. Was his own teammate. On the scoreboard, it reads 51-45. Casey drives in. His shot no good. Rebound by Hayes, no good. Rebound fought for. And Ty Sides comes down with the rebound for the Panthers. He finds Austin Miller, and it's thrown away by Dewey. Dewey leads the break. Crosses over, loses the handle on it, picks it up, now gives it to Hayes, and Hayes is going to be fouled by Leidig. His third personal foul. Seventh Panther team foul.
Leidig trying to get the ball right as Hayes turned. Just caught his arm. It was just a boom-boom play. Not a whole lot Leidig could do on that one.
So 5.5 minutes left to go in the fourth quarter. Plainville leads 51-45. Again, I have 43, so I'm not real sure where I missed the basket. As Ethan Leidig takes a seat, Joel Ford comes back in, Austin Miller comes back in, or comes back out, Parker Dibble back into the ball game. Eli Hayes at the free throw line.
And, well, Coach G's
Wants to make sure that that score's right, too.
I'd say he just talked to the ref. So goes over to the bench, so I'm guessing they're checking the books for that.
Darren Moon head over for Phillipsburg as he's the scorebook, or he's the bookkeeper for Phillipsburg. I saw him head over once already, but this time they have Coach Dries made him look himself. Apparently they only have 43 in their book too, but looks like Hayes is at the free throw line. Looking for the first point of the fourth quarter for Plainville. Cannot find it as he missed that one. Rebounded by Ty Sides. Sides around to Ford. Now to Keaton left wing. Keaton out front to Ford. Ford finds Sides right wing. He'll stop the pop for three. No good. Fighting for the rebound. Keaton comes down and kicks it back out the side. Between the circles, three's on its way. It's good. All right, your point has been proven. The further away he is, the better shot he has at making a three. And a travel going to be called here on Anders Dewey. Ball goes back in the hands of Phillipsburg. It's 51-48. 5:02 left to go here in the ball game.
Well, I just thought back to last year. Most of his threes, if I remember right, they were off the three-point line 2 or 3 feet. And this year, kind of the same thing. Sitting on the three-point line, not able to do it, but his back's off and starts dropping.
Spent a lot of time in the weight room as Dibble's free throw line jumper, no good, rolls out, rebounded by Jared Casey. Casey looks to outlet, now dribbles out of trouble. Casey picks up his dribble, passes it ahead to Pelton. Pelton across the timeline. Pelton down to the left wing, stolen, tipped away by Trey Starr by Ty Sides. I guess Trey played already today, a lot earlier today for Jacksonville. Ty Sides comes away with the steal. Kagan Keaton for three. He buries it, ties things up at 51 all. 28 left to go in the ball game. That ties things up at 51 all here between the Phillipsburg Panthers and the Plainville Cardinals. Timeout called as Coach Dries wants a timeout. We'll take one with him as you're listening to Panther Basketball on KQMA on the World Wide Web. (51-51) the Plainville Cardinals and Phillipsburg Panthers tied. And, well, Robbie, you say you have 51 too, so apparently I missed the field goal somewhere. I don't know where. I don't know who got it, so we'll just put it down here as mystery player.
We're going to give it to the coach.
All right, Coach Sides got. I'm guessing Coach Sides can suit up right now and still get at least one basket.
That's my go-to. If we got a mystery point up there, it goes to the coach automatically.
I'm sure Coach Sides could probably still suit up and score.
I guess he probably could too. I guess he still goes out and plays with Trey and Tybalt when Trey comes back and he plays.
And Taryn.
Yeah. He probably can still go out there to score.
I'm sure he probably could, so well, that works for me. Either way, it works out in the favor of the Panthers because they tied things up as Kagan Keaton tied it up 51 all with a right wing three. 4:26 left to go here in this ball game. Boys championship game. Phillipsburg has battled all the way back. They trailed 26-4 after the first quarter. Casey has it inside for Hayes. Backdoor pass for Dewey. Left block, no good. Too hard. Rebound spot for Dibble. Hits the ground. And they're going to say he's touching it out of bounds, and it will be Plainville basketball.
I mean, half his body was in bounds, half it was laying out of bounds, so that's a good indicator that he was out of bounds. But either way, good hustle by Dibble to at least get there and try to go for that steal or the rebound. Come on!
Miller gets to the scorer's desk. And tell him that he has to stay at the scorer's table. Casey inbounds to Dewey. Dewey picks his dribble up. Now to Van Shiver. Back out to Casey. Casey going to reset the offense as he dribbles between the circles. 4 minutes left to go in the ball game, and Leidig picked up his fourth personal foul. 8th Panthers team foul. Miller comes back into the ball game now for the Panthers. Dibble going to take a seat with 4 minutes left to go in this ball game. Tyler Martin also comes to the scores table for the Panthers. And Ethan Lydig going to take a seat with those 4 fouls. Van Schreiber at the free throw line. Or that's Dewey at the free throw line, I should say. First one for Dewey, no good, rolls out, rebound, tracked down by Hayes. He kicks it back out to Dewey. Plainville has not scored here in the 4th quarter as Casey takes it to the hole, too hard, no good, rebounded by Ty Sides. The Panthers have fought back all the way to tie things up here with 3:48 left to go in the ballgame. Martin has the left corner stolen away by Casey. Casey passes it ahead to Dewey. Dewey catches it, left block, jump stop, and he's going to get called for the travel. One too many steps that time for Anders Dewey. Right idea, but the feet shuffled one too many times.
You said the right idea there, as he knew the defense was coming behind him. Tried to give him that pump fake to get them up in the air, then just let them jump into him. But either way, got those feet to shuffle just enough.
3:34 left to go in the ball game. We're tied at 51 as Ty Sides elevation to left elbow. Shot no good, rebounded by Hayes. Hayes looking, gets it out to Casey. Casey leads the break for the Cardinals down to the right wing. Picks up his dribble there now to Hayes. Hayes back to Casey. 3:15 and counting left to go in the ball game. We're tied at 51 here between Phillipsburg and Plainville in the boys championship of the Amos Morris Classic. Casey on the dribble down to the left corner to Van Schreiber. Van Schreiber's now going to get called for the travel, and it will be Phillipsburg basketball with 3:06 left to play. And we're tied at 51. Parker Dibble comes back to the game for the Panthers, and Jeremy Ford going to take a seat.
Coming into this 4th quarter, the Cardinals, they had 8 turnovers in the game. Here in the 4th quarter alone, they have 8 again. So the Panthers defense really stepping up here in this 4th quarter to battle back into this game.
And the offense has helped as well as they're on a 13-0 run to start this 4th quarter. They looked inside for Miller, tipped down by Hayes. Plainville has not scored here in the 4th quarter. They led 51-38 at the end of 3. And now it is 51-51, so Phillipsburg on a 13-0 run. Martin's 3-pointer's on its way, no good. Rebounded by Keaton. Keaton out to Dibble. Dibble, 10-footer, no good. Rebound, fought for, and gonna have a foul called here. There's a couple different bodies down there. This one's gonna be on Plainville, 16 foul. 3rd on Anders Dewey. So Phillipsburg basketball, 2:47 left to go. They inbound to Martin right wing. Martin out front to Sides. Sides gets a screen from Dibble. Nice screen there by Dibble on Jared Casey.
That was a very good screen there by Dibble.
Dibble gets it down to Martin. Martin looks inside for Miller. Can't get it to him. They swing it all the way back around to Sides left wing. Sides inside for Dibble. Dibble one dribble. Shot no good. Rebounded by Miller. Miller then gets it stripped. And Krogh comes away with the basketball. Now to Casey. 2:25 and counting left to go in this boys championship of the Amos Morris Classic. We're tied at 51 between Phillipsburg and Plainville. Casey gets a screen. He's going to drive all the way in. Shot no good. And it's rebounded by Dibble. Dibble hands it off to Keaton. Keaton quickly up the court now for the Panthers ahead to Martin right corner. Martin then loses it out of bounds, and it will be Plainville basketball with 2:07 left to go in this 4th quarter. We're tied at 51 here between Plainville and Phillipsburg. And back into the ball game for Plainville will be Clay Pelton.
Panther fans wanting a foul on ours, along with Coach Sides, as it was just good defense there along the baseline. He had his feet inbounds and just kind of was backing up with him, causing the ball to go out of bounds.
2:07 left to go in this ball game. We're tied at 51 all here in the Amos Morris Classic Boys Championship between Phillipsburg and Plainville. And a 5-second call. Pelton couldn't get the ball in quick enough. Jared Casey came open at the last second, but he didn't get it in before the 5-second call.
It was just a half-second behind. Casey came through. The ball was hitting his hands pretty much on a handoff before that 5-second, or right at that 5-second call.
Ty Sides inbounds to Tyler Martin. Martin down to the right wing. Hands it off to Ty Sides. Sides dribbles back out between the circles. 2 minutes left to go in the boys championship of the Amos Morris Classic. We're tied at 51. Martin gets it in the right corner. Head fakes. Looks inside for Miller. Miller gets it at the right block, and he's going to be fouled. 7th Cardinals team foul, and Austin Miller head to the free throw line to shoot 1-1.
Great job once again by Miller on that low block. Getting his position, getting set, and then calling for the ball. And the Panthers doing a good job getting that pass into him.
Martin takes a seat. Joel Ford comes back in. So Austin Miller with a chance to give his team the lead with a 1-1. So he steps up to the free throw line. First one on its way and good. First point for Austin Miller here in the 4th quarter. as he now has 11. His first made free throw of the year. He was 0-1 before that one. Miller's second one rolls out, no good. Rebounded by Jared Casey. So it gives the Panthers a 1-point lead, 52-51, their first lead of the ball game. As they trailed 26-4 after the first quarter, they now lead 52-51. A minute 40 left to go in this game. They get it inside. No, Ty Sides comes away with the steal. He hands it off to Joel Ford, hands it back off to Ty Sides. Sides passes it ahead to Miller, and it's stolen away by Dewey. Dewey showing why he played defensive back for the Cardinals this year. So he drives down to the left block, kicks it out to Pelton. His left wing three's on its way, and it's good!
First shot of the fourth quarter for the Cardinals.
They came with a minute 23 left to go, and no bigger shot for Clay Pelton as he puts his team back up 54-52 with a minute 23 left to go in this fourth quarter. A timeout called by Coach Drees. We'll take one with him. You're listening to Panther Basketball on KQMA and the World Wide Web. A minute 23 left to play in the boys' championship of the Amos Morris Classic. Clay Pelton hit another three-pointer, Robbie. That is his fifth, and maybe none bigger than that one. That's the first made shot for the Plainville Cardinals here in the fourth quarter, and it puts them up by 2, 54-52.
I'd say the Cardinals looking for something to get going for him on that one. Pelton came off kind of an opening there. He came around, wrapped around, got a nice little shovel pass, and right up he went with it. No hesitation behind him, didn't even think about it, just pulled the trigger. Able to knock down that three-pointer.
As a Dewey walking right in the face of Ty Sides, making sure Ty is not the guy to beat him. As Kagan Keaton has it out front between the circles. Keaton now to Ford left wing. Joel down to the left corner to Ty Sides. Again, tightly covered by Anders Dewey. Ford has it around to Keaton right wing. Minute 5 left to go. Keaton back out front to Ford. Ford hands it off to Ty Sides, and he's going to be fouled.
That's kind of what they're going to have to do with Sides is he's going to have to run like that just to get a handoff and maybe get Dewey to foul him as like he did on that one, just trying to reach in and tip that ball out of it.
So Clay Pelton back into the ball game. Dewey going to, or that's Krob taking a seat. Ty Sides at the free throw line to shoot 1-1 for the Panthers. First end's on its way, and it's good. Ty with his first 20-point game of the year. He's got 21 as he needs 22 to tie things up at 54 all. It's 54-53 and make it 54-54. Ty Sides with 22, and the Panthers call a timeout. Coach Sides now wants to talk things over. With a minute 1 left to go in this ball game, it's 54-54. We'll leave it here and let you know that this broadcast is made possible in part by the fiber optic network of Nextech, providing state-of-the-art communication services to the reach of more than 65 years. Nextech bringing high tech to the High Plains. Plainville led 26-4 at the end of the first quarter. Phillipsburg fought back, outscored Plainville 25-10 in the second quarter, to make it a 36-29 halftime lead for Plainville. Plainville then outscored Phillipsburg in the third quarter 15-9 in that third quarter to lead 51-38 at the end of 3. Phillipsburg has now outscored Plainville in the fourth quarter 16-3 to tie things up at 54 all.
As the Panthers doing a good job fighting back into this one, the Cardinals doing a good job sticking with what they kind of were doing, but coming down to this fourth quarter, the Panthers, they got hot there starting in the third, kind of led into this fourth. The Cardinals, they cooled off from that first half, and it's really allowed the Panthers to kind of fight back in this. So it's been a back and forth battle between both teams. This is what you expect out of a championship game, though.
Especially between these two teams.
Yeah, that's a good point, especially between these two teams.
As it will be Plainville basketball out of the timeout. Again, a minute 1 left to go in the fourth quarter of the boys' championship game of the Amos Morris Classic. We're tied at 54 all. Plainville basketball here between Plainville and Phillipsburg. Casey passes it ahead to Dewey. Dewey left wing with it. He's looking, now drives in, leaves it inside for Casey. Casey blocked by Miller, no good. Fighting for the rebound, still fighting for it. Hayes comes down with it, now out front to Dewey. Dewey between the circles. Plainville with another chance to take the lead. Dewey drives in, leaves it off for Van Shiver. Now to Casey, left wing. Casey dribbles back out front between the circles. Going to reset things with 34 seconds left. Pelton has it in the right corner. Back out to Casey. Casey looks at Ty sides. Dribbles down to the right wing. Drives in, leaves it off for Pelton, the right corner. Back outside to Casey. 23 seconds of counting left to go. Casey dribbles all the way back out to half court. Now he's in the center circle. Casey down to the left wing. Drives all the way in, leaves it off. Now to Pelton, right corner. Fakes right, goes left, and again have a timeout called as Coach Trees wants to talk things over. His final timeout of the ball game. We'll take it with him. 12.6 seconds left. We're tied at 54. We'll be Plainville basketball out of the timeout. You're listening to Panther Basketball on KQMA on the World Wide Web. 12.6 seconds left to go in regulation here from the Amos Morris Classic from Russell High School. The boys championship game. Plainville 54, Phillipsburg 54. Plainville led 26-4 at the end of the first quarter. Phillipsburg outscored Plainville 25-10 at the end of in the second quarter to make it 36-29 at halftime. Plainville then outscored Phillipsburg 15-9 in the third quarter to lead a 51-38 at the end of three. Phillipsburg has outscored Plainville 16-3 here in the fourth quarter, but it is a Plainville basketball. Dewey has it out front, dribbles over to the right wing, picks up his dribble there, looks to pass off, still looking. Dewey gets it off to Casey, 4 seconds left. Casey gets it tipped by high side, at the buzzer, and it's off the glass, no good! And we have our first overtime game of the season. 54-54 at the end of regulation. We're going to overtime here in the championship of the boys Amos Morris Classic. We'll be back with overtime right after this as you're listening to Panther Basketball on KQMA and the World Wide Web. Welcome back to Russell High School. And Jesse Ray alongside Robbie Gibson, the boys championship, the Amos Morris Classic. We're headed to overtime as Phillipsburg fought all the way back, tied this thing up at 54 apiece. And that's where we are as we head into overtime. Austin Miller steps into the center circle for Phillipsburg. Eli Hayes for Plainville. And we are getting set here for overtime. As Ty Sides had a chance there, Robbie, but just couldn't get that one to fall as Miller wins the tip just like he did the opening tip. Dibble gets it, hands it off to Ty Sides. Extra 4 minutes of basketball as the fans getting their money's worth here in the boys championship. Dibble looks inside, stolen away by Hayes. Hayes hands it off to Casey. Casey going to bring it back up right to left on your radio dial for the Plainville Cardinals. He's going to hand it off to Dewey. Dewey brings it up the court, works against Kagan Keaton. Now to Casey. Casey, spin at the free throw line. Floaters up off the glass and good.
Sides not able to get up there to get alter the shot about.
Casey finally in double digits. He's got 11. Keaton for three. No good. Rebound tracked down by Miller. Miller then tries to pick it out the sides and thrown away by Pelton. Pelton tries to get it back to Casey. Picked out by Joel Ford. Picked up by Casey. Casey splits the defense. He's going to drive all the way inside. Fakes the pass. Floaters up. Rolls out. No good. Rebounded by Miller. Miller hands it off to Ty Sides. 3 minutes left to go in overtime. It's 56-54. Sides has it down to the left wing. Plainville leads by 2. Miller swings it around to Keaton right wing. Keaton on the dribble. Hands it off to Sides. Sides out front, guarded tightly by Pelton. Sides drives in now to Keaton left wing. Keaton dribbles back out. Passes it back to Ford between the circles. Ford back to Keaton left wing. Keaton inside for Miller. Miller left block up off the back of the iron. No good. Rebounded by Dibble. Dibble kicks it out to Keaton. Keaton's floater in the paint. He's going to be fouled.
Good job there by Dibble getting those offensive rebounds, going up strong to get those and fighting the Cardinals down with them. And then I'm not one of those guys that just says go right back up with it, but he's finding passes out of the lane there to try to get someone else an open shot.
And Shiver with the foul, his second personal foul, 9th Cardinal team foul. Kagan Keaton at the free throw line for the Panthers. First one's on its way off the back of the iron, no good. So with 2:31 left to go, Keaton missed the first one. He'll get set for his second free throw. Second one for Keaton is no good. It rolls out, rebounded by Casey. So Plainville remains a 2-point advantage, 56-54 over Phillipsburg. 2:25 left to go. Dewey, inside pass for Hayes, tipped out and thrown away by the Panthers as Dibble tipped it in the hands of Miller. Miller hands it off the sides. 2:15 and counting left to go in the boys' championship, the Amos Morris Classic. Plainville leads by 2, 56-54. Joel Ford has it left side. Now to Keaton, down the sides, right wing. Three's on its way, off the back of the iron, no good. Rebounded by Joel Ford. Ford back outside to Keaton, now to Miller. Miller's long two-pointer's on its way, no good. Misses that one, and it's rebounded by Jared Casey. Casey hands it off to Dewey. 1:50 left to go in the game. Plainville leads Phillipsburg 56-54 here in overtime. And Keaton going to get called for a foul, his second personal foul, 9th Panther team foul, and they'll send Dewey to the free throw line to shoot 1-1. Dewey, 1 of 2 from the free throw line in this ball game. And the coach Sides wants a timeout. So we'll take a timeout with him as you're listening to Panther Basketball on KQMA and the World Wide Web. A minute 44 left to go in overtime. Plainville leads Phillipsburg 56-54 as Anders Dewey will be at the free throw line to shoot 1-1 and a chance to give his team the lead here in to extend their lead here in overtime. As it will be Van Shiver, Hayes, Hamilton, Casey, and Dewey for the Cardinals. For the Panthers, it's Dibble, Miller, Sides, Ford, as Joel Ford, and Kagan Keaton. Again, Dewey at the free throw line to shoot 1-1 for the Plainville Cardinals, trying to extend their lead here as they lead by 2, 56-54 in overtime over the Phillipsburg Panthers. Dewey getting set for the first end of the 1-1. It's on its way. No good, and it's rebounded by Miller. Miller outlets to Sides. Sides quickly up the court all the way down to the top of the key. Kicks over to Keaton left wing. Keaton's going to drive inside. Kicks it out to Ford. Ford right wing three's on its way. Rolls out, no good. Kicked out of bounds by Jared Casey as Miller saw his chance, Robbie. If there was ever a time that Miller should have tried to just tip it back in, that was that one, because Jared Casey tipped it out of his hands when he came back down.
As either that or Miller thought he had time to go down with him to go right back up. But yeah, you're right, should have probably tried to tip down right in.
Miller gets the inbounds pass. Shot is off the back of the iron. No good. Rebound fought for. And Hamilton tips it out of bounds. But it's off of the Panthers, so it will be Plainville basketball. 1:24 left to go with overtime. Hamilton comes out. Pelton comes back in. Jeremy Ford comes back in. Parker Dibble going to take his seat. 1:24 left to play in overtime. And Plainville leads Phillipsburg 56-54. Casey inbounds to Dewey. Dewey working against the full court press of the Panthers. Back to Casey. Casey on the dribble, looking, gives it back to Dewey. Dewey looking, now passes it ahead. Casey gets it across the timeline just in time. Backside pass for Hayes. Hayes on the backside. Makes it a 4-point Plainville lead, 58-54. Sides for 3, and it goes in and hits the front line. Sides Panthers with 25, and it makes it a 1-point game, 58-57. 55 seconds left in overtime. Plainville leads by 1. Timeout on the court. We'll take one with them as you're listening to Panther Basketball on KQMA and the World Wide Web. 55 seconds left to go in overtime. Plainville leads by 1 over Phillipsburg, 58-57. It was a 4-point game, but Ty Sides hit a 3 from the top of the key, Robbie. They say when you got the shooter's touch, you get the shooter's bounce, and that's exactly what Ty got that time because it hit the front of the iron, bounced straight up, and went in.
That's exactly what Ty needed as well. As that was a nice shot. He got that gap just by jumping back all of a sudden. Kind of reminded me of Trey there when he needed open, just use a little quick step back, hit a 3-pointer on people, and that was a perfect textbook shot.
Casey has it, tries to get across the timeline, does so. Tipped and stolen away by Ty Sides. Sides leads the break, and now it's tipped by Casey. And fighting for the basketball, and Van Schreiber comes away with it. He's at the right wing, 40 seconds left. He's looking to pass off, goes out front to Jared Casey. Casey, guarded by Joel Ford. Casey looks to the sideline, now starts to make his move. Casey drives all the way inside, kicks it out to Hayes. Hayes back out front to Dewey. Dewey then going to get wrapped up by Kagan Keaton, his third personal foul. 10th Panther team foul, and Dewey will head to the free throw line to shoot 2 this time. 24 seconds left to go in overtime, and Plainville leads by 1, 58-57.
A little surprised it took the Panthers that long to try to get that call in there to just go for the ball, get the foul, put him at the free throw line, try to extend this game a little bit to try to come back into it.
So, Anders Dewey at the free throw line to shoot 2 for Plainville. Tries to extend their 1-point lead. First one's on its way, no good. Hamilton comes back in. Pelton going to take a seat. Parker Dibble comes back in. Jeremy Ford takes a seat. 24 seconds left to go in this overtime. Plainville leads by 1, 58-57. Anders Dewey trying to make it a 2-point game for Plainville. Second free throw's on its way. Misses that one off the front of the iron. Rebounded by Kagan Keaton. Keaton brings it up the court across the timeline. 19 seconds, 18 seconds. Keaton hands it off to Ty Sides. Sides on the dribble, finds the screen, gets it out to Joel Ford. Back to Ty left wing. 12 seconds, puts up the 3, no good. Fighting for the rebound, and Hayes comes down with it now to Casey. Casey's going to be fouled. Keaton picks up his 4th. Phillipsburg fans not too happy because they feel like Plainville got away with a travel for the second time here in overtime.
I know the first one was, we had a good view of that one, as I don't think the refs had a good view of it on the first one, but that second one, right in the middle of the lane, I think he got away with another one there, just stood up with the ball and then tried to hand it off real quick. But either way, good job by the Cardinals. They're playing it how they need to. You know, you can get away with some every now and then.
As Jared Casey heads to the free throw line to try to extend this Cardinal 1-point lead. First one's on its way, good. Casey now has 12, and it makes it a 2-point game, 59-57, with 4.5 seconds left to go. Casey getting set for his second free throw, trying to make it a 3-point Cardinal lead, and does so. Miller looking, gets it into Keaton. Keaton at the half-court line. Keaton down to the top of the key, running off the backboard, no good. And that's going to do it. Plainville defeats Phillipsburg in overtime, 60-57. We'll take a timeout. And come back and wrap things up here from the Eagles Sports Network right after this, as you're listening to Panther Basketball on KQMA and the World Wide Web.